What are the two most important days in your life? The day you are born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. Most people have read this famous Mark Twain quote, and many may agree. Has anyone tried to figure out what it means though? It sounds right, but why? We nod in agreement pretending to see what it all means. We should try to keep still and be silent. If we were to push things forward, we would come up with a simple, interesting question. Why isn't the second most important day, the day we die? Birth is followed, and only rivaled by what we consider the end of the line. We've covered death in depth in Ascent, but the Mark Twain quote can further help us examine it, and face our fears. Why is the second most important day, the day we learn why we're born? This question gives form to two intriguing deductions. Although they sound simplistic, they should be cited to help us move on. Firstly, by stating that we learn why we're born, we mean that we figure out the ultimate truth. We realize what life is about, we see the harmony and the beauty within. We unravel the reason behind it all, we solve the riddle. What does that mean? Simple. The moment we realize why we're born is the moment death loses all its power, becoming obsolete. Enlightenment is the experience of life's triumph over anything we may pit against it. Those who know why they're born have absolutely no fear of death. As stated in the Bliss lesson, the divine is unaware of man-made concepts. Why? Simply because it doesn't need them. God has no use for something like pride or money. Hope and pain it does not need, it does not know. It only learns about them through us, but doesn't bother adding names, counting, or analyzing such concepts much. People aware of the reason they're born have absolutely no fear of death. No worries about the day or the way they will face the inevitable. We even see cultures with an odd fascination with finding and somehow fighting the divine. They might see God in nature, or close by, and miss it for something tangible, something they may affect and even hurt. It can never happen though. The divine isn't just on a stage we cannot reach, it's on a level we cannot even fathom. Doubting or facing it won't make it smaller or less powerful. It doesn't crave our love and devotion. It is everything there is, so there's no one separate from it to praise or hurt it. We think we know what the monad is, yet it is crucial to see that we cannot, and never will mentally understand its true nature. Our logic will never succeed in realizing it. It is vital to accept that our words cannot, and will never be able to describe it. Only the enlightened can see the divine in all its glory, and grasp it with her heart. Here's what happens. Once able to see the one for what it is, once reaching it, the enlightened will lose all and any desire to judge, deride, or destroy it. All she can do is lose herself in unity, in the eternal light of the unnamed. Ever wondered why we see some religions refusing to name the divine? They do it, simply because it has no name. It has no form, no borders, no mouth, no hope, and no fear. Isn't God eternal, undying, and almighty? Why do we want to see it troubled or angered? Why do we wish to drag it down to our size, and not rise to its height to witness its greatness and harmony? The cloud never dies, and the fig tree never jitters. The rock doesn't feel fear or shame. As we've already seen, fear, beauty, and pride are all concepts made by people, for people. That's why they cannot describe or define reality. People putting the code we use together had absolutely no clue about what the real thing looked or felt like. As an undivided part of the whole, enlightened beings know they cannot die. The divine cannot die. The flesh that carries them around might indeed be fragile or ill. The divine within though, the blinding sparkle of light we call the soul, never loses its power or brilliance. Those aware of the truth, also known as the reason they're born, have no fear of death. So, no matter how hard we try, we cannot find and defeat God in a wondrous clash simply because we cannot defeat ourselves. We've already seen it in Ascent, but it's crucial to mention it again. Unlimited power only comes with absolute wisdom, never alone. Once reaching the divine, one can only find love in her heart. The cheetah doesn't read an instruction manual to learn how to hunt. The astute devotee doesn't seek a great book, but a wise master. Experience always beats words on paper, we shouldn't forget that. The fog our mind generates comes from man-made concepts, that's what we're trying to avoid during meditation. Those who know how to properly meditate, though, will offer some invaluable advice. Man-made concepts, just like thoughts during meditation, are better handled when ignored. It is pointless and counterproductive to fight them. There's no need to, really. We need education, we need food and water. We need the occasional glass of wine or evening at the theater. We need friends and dreams. However, we shouldn't let such concepts and mechanisms steer us around and define us. We shouldn't allow them to bring us misery or pain. We're unique, multidimensional, magnificent beings. Words like queer, colored, or Protestant cannot successfully describe us, whether we like it or not. We shouldn't also forget that everything we see, smell and touch is nothing more than smoke and mirrors. They're phantoms, totally separate from the real thing, and as such, they're unimportant. It's no accident that both in Hinduism and Buddhism the divine is often portrayed as a sleeper, dreaming our world in existence. Our reality is also considered to be Maya, an illusion for most Eastern religions, a reflection, a ghost. Once we see the dreamer and the dream are one though, the fog is gone. Nibbana is the realization of unity between what most consider the individual and the divine. God is all, most will admit, yet no one will take a minute to think it through. What does God is all means? We can't split the divine in two to have more or less of it, we should never forget that. As stated before, there is no one, nothing out of it to divide it. It doesn't want to astonish anyone with its power or beauty, simply because it can't dazzle itself. It can't fool itself too, just like you can't fool yourself. Like it or not, Christ's face and Shiva's face is your face as well. All faces are one face, a nameless, timeless one. All faces, no matter how ugly, tired, brown, pretty, or sad. Check your nearest mirror to see the divine looking back at you.